Being homeless, it's not something that I would wish it on my worst enemy. The toughest parts about being homeless, for me, it was just like feeling like people really didn't care, because that takes a toll. Some of the things that led me to being homeless on the streets, I had a really bad breakup and, started doing drugs heavily, like very heavy, and lost my job. Also was diagnosed with cancer at the same time, so it was kind of like a double slap to the face. Overall, it was very depressing.
So Brandon spent a lot of his time in and out of the streets, but pretty early on he found a shelter where he stayed for about 3 or 4 years. Even though he was in the shelter, most of the time he still pretty heavily battled addiction, and it wasn't a good spot for him to be at.
I was angry at myself, but I was angry that I didn't have the drive to want to stop.
So about 5 years ago, Brandon actually came up to our offices looking for some help. We landed on a couple programs, but after we left, he just still wasn't ready to make that step. A few weeks later, we actually saw him in the streets during one of our compassion nights.
When the first time I went to the parking lot, it was weird at first, because there's like kids running up and they're like, how you doing? I don't know you,
I still remembered his name. I think it caught him off guard.
But then I saw Nick. He's like, Brandon. I was like, oh, you remember my name? People who remember people's names. That's the kind of people you want around you.
He kept hanging around, and for about 4 years, every single Thursday, he was there. We really became good friends, and he loved just opening up to our volunteers.
I like food, but that's not why I went. Food is good, but when you hurt, food don't work for me when I hurt. I need to be able to talk to people. Sometimes it's just about human interaction, and sometimes I needed that. The one thing that I noticed about Compassion Night is all the smiling faces. Like, everybody was smiling. It's like, there's no way, y'all, and everybody can be happy, but it is. It's true happiness. It's love. Before I wanted help, I just kept going back. It's like, keep coming back, love on you. And I just got tired of, being around drugs and all of that all the time, and just negative attitudes and bad vibes and just the mess.
After about 4 years, we were sitting down grabbing something to eat, and you could just tell something was different about him. I think he just had started to get tired and worn out. The addiction was getting the better of him. So I remember he finally said, look, I just can't keep going on this way. So we started shifting into our case management conversations to figure out what might be some opportunities out there for him. And pretty quickly, we found a year-long job skills program up in Gwinnett County. So the very next week, he did a job interview, and within a couple days, they were ready to accept him in the program.
I talked to Nick, and we talked about getting to a program, and boom.
It was a big jump for him, but from about a week from when he said he was ready, 7 days later, he was jumping right into that year-long job skills program. What's special about Brandon's story is that usually the way our model works is we have pretty momentary interactions with people. They're in an emergency situation, and we're trying to get them to a long-term safe program. But with Brandon, once he got into the program, he wanted us to stay connected with him every step of the way. So we were able to celebrate all the milestones, be there with him through the tough times, and then even be there to celebrate his graduation earlier this summer.
Life's been good since I've graduated from the program. I still got my job. I got a place to stay. I like to cook. I do. I'm not gonna say I'm the best cook, but I cook pretty good. It's easier not having to hunt down anything, especially like today is raining. So you already know a lot of the people who are homeless are roaming around. Working with case management was great. I like the people there. I've known them for a long time. They got good vibes. They help me understand that everything will be okay in the long haul. I am looking forward very much to going to Compassion Night tonight. It's like, what are you gonna do on your day off? I'm gonna go help them. Go feed people. I'm excited. It's gonna be fun.
So our mission is really every day to try to rescue the men and women that are trapped in the darkness of homelessness. And with that, one of the main ways we do that is through our weekly outreaches. Of course, we pass out food every week when we go out in the streets, but it's really not about the food. Our goal is to try to build trust and relationships with people living in the streets and also be available whenever they're finally ready to take those steps into a different life.
I like to help people, and I still give people money. I gave this lady $10 the other day. I needed $10, but she's all the way out here. What are you gonna do outside? If you want to volunteer your time or donate your money, it would benefit a lot of people. It benefited me. People want, they just need help. Some people just need human interaction. Spend some time with that person. Sometimes it's about 5-10 minutes, and let you change somebody's life.